Hey, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, we're going to talk about the actual cost for $25,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 61-year-old female. Now, the first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website, and we've got these quoters on just about every page, and you can select the state you live in, and we're licensed in all 50 states, by the way, and click the coverage amount, and then put your birthday and other info, click get quotes now. It's going to show you the best companies that have the lowest pricing in your state. And you can be a super smart consumer that way. We provide that free of charge. You can also call us at 888-862-9456, and we can look those numbers up for you as well. Now, the first thing you want to ask yourself as a 61-year-old female is $25,000 worth of coverage going to be enough? Or is it even going to be appropriate coverage for your final expense needs? Now, if you are getting cremated, the average cost of a cremation in the United States is right between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, if you're going to get cremated and have some sort of ceremony, like a remembrance of life or a celebration of life ceremony, that's probably going to be between $3,500 to $4,500. So if you have a $25,000 policy, yeah, you're set. But if you're looking for an insurance policy, we typically would not recommend $25,000 because you would be overinsured. And we really feel that this insurance should be really more so restricted to just paying for what it's intended to do, pay your final expenses, not leaving a bunch of extra money behind for family members. Because as you get into the higher coverage amounts, for people who are on a fixed or limited income, it can get a little bit more expensive. And, you know, it'd be irresponsible to say, hey, I can't do $25,000, therefore I'm not going to do anything, because that means your family's going to get stuck with that bill. So if all you can afford is $5,000, then get $5,000. You can always add more coverage. So at age 61, we're expecting you to live hopefully to 71, 81, maybe 91. So most people looking for the cremation where they're going to come home in the cardboard box and urn would probably get between $5,000 to $7,500. If you're going to have that service on top of the cremation, $7,500 to maybe $10,000. But again, if all you can afford is $5,000 right now, get to $5,000. We can help you add more coverage later. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. But I can assure you one thing, that's not going to be a very fancy funeral. But if all you can afford is $10,000, just get that $10,000 for right now. We can always help you add more coverage later. But most 61-year-old females that we're helping would probably be looking somewhere between $10,000, $15,000, and $20,000. You know, if you've got a little bit better financial situation, you want to get up to $25,000, yeah, we can help you out with that. But again, we feel this money really shouldn't be used for leaving money behind. Just have it be used for your final expenses. And instead of paying extra money to get extra insurance to get people after you're dead, just spend that money on them while you're alive, and you'll have those memories, and they'll have those memories for the rest of their life too. So one thing we always recommend is getting first day coverage or benefits. Now, the reason this is so important is that none of us knows when we're going to die. We don't know if we're going to be here another 20 seconds or another 20 years. So you want a policy that if you got your policy approved today and you died tomorrow, it's going to pay out from the very first day. Now, some people will say, well, that's what I want. I want first day coverage, but those policies ask health questions, and I'm not in the best of health. And what we say to that is, you know, that's our problem, not your problem. And that's why we work with enough different insurance companies that they've all got different underwriting, and we can typically find a plan for first day coverage or benefits for you. Really 95% of the time that's going to happen with us. Now, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for first day coverage is if you had some really significant health issue, like you had a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you were on dialysis, or you were in a hospital or in a nursing home. If that were the case, something really significant like that, we'd probably refer you off to a different insurance company. The other thing is, it seems like every week we get a phone call from somebody that says, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. Their body's down at the funeral home. The funeral director's not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. Therefore, we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get a check in the funeral home's hand. And we have to let them know there's no insurance company in America that will issue you a policy, an insurance policy for somebody who's already dead. And it's unfortunate because that person who died knew they were going to die, probably intended on getting to this sooner or later, but they didn't live that long. And now their family has this terrible burden financially and emotionally. And the family's going to always remember this person for sticking them with a bill and leaving this behind for them to figure out. And that's a terrible memory to leave behind for your loved ones. So don't be that person. Don't be so silly. Now, one thing we don't recommend is plans with 2-year waiting periods. And Colonial Penn is probably one of the better known companies out there. Their $9.95 plan, that's a 2-year waiting period. You may not have known that. There's other 2-year waiting period companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, United of Omaha is their product, AIG, Gerber. And there's other companies out there too that the only things they sell are plans with 2-year waiting periods. And some of these companies have done a great job of convincing the American public who are age 50 and older that the only thing they qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we say, ha, 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 nothing could be further from the truth, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. So just don't believe some of the marketing you hear from some of these 2-year waiting period companies. Now, a lot of 61-year-old females would watch that TV commercial from Colonial Penn, and they would say, man, for $9.95, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. I'm so smart for waiting so long. And then they get on the phone with Colonial Penn, or they look at the pricing on their website, like we're doing right here, and they find that $9.95 1 unit of coverage is only $1,460. And that's just a little bit different than they expected after watching the TV commercial. And $1,460 may not even pay for a cremation today where you're living, but that doesn't matter because it's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out for 2 years unless you have a health or medical related cause of death. So, yeah, it's just it's pretty good marketing, but a lot of people are pretty upset when they find out how little coverage it is. So let's look at $25,000. That's what this video is about. Now, the challenge with Colonial Penn for a 61-year-old female is you can't get $25,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 because they have per unit pricing, and you always end up with these kind of wackadoodle numbers like 1,460. But if we max out at 15 units, we can only get $21,900 through Colonial Penn. And again, that's a 2-year waiting period, and that's $149. So let's take a look at first day coverage to see what kind of savings are out there. So we've got $25,000 for a female, age 61. Get quote. We're going to come back here again. $150 for roughly $22,000. And we look at here and we look at these companies and right around $80 or $81. So you're going to pay significantly less with the first day coverage plan than you are for a plan with a 2-year waiting period. Colonial Penn is roughly $80 more a month, and it's got a 2-year waiting period, and they will allow you the privilege of overpaying them $70 a month for the rest of your life. So yeah, that's $70 more a month. That's roughly $840 a year. And if you live another 10 years, you would have overpaid roughly $8,400 on a $25,000 policy. So if you want to save $8,400, just go with a company that's got better rates and first day coverage. And level means first day coverage here. Now, if you look at these 3 companies here, they're within like $1 or so. And some of these companies are more difficult to get approved for. Some of them make you wait like a week or even a month to get approved. We would recommend, just for the extra dollar or whatever it would be, Trinity Life Insurance. They're a great company. We work with them. Level coverage. We can access any company out there. But they've got a same-day approval process, so you can find out over the phone whether you're approved or not. And they've got great follow-up. And so just based off pricing, it's not always clear what's the best one. If it's within $1 or so, kind of just pick whichever company's best, and which company's got the highest approval rate too. That's really important because you don't want to get denied and then have to search for more insurance. So let's take a look at some other. You'll be able to see all these different companies here when you're going through our free quoter. Let's find another one that advertises quite a bit. I like Lincoln Heritage. They're a good company, I guess. They're more expensive. Level coverage, first day coverage, but look at that pricing, $116. Now, the thing that Lincoln Heritage does is they've got a thing where they will shop around, after you've passed away. They'll shop around 2-3 different places to get the lowest pricing, supposedly, and they may do a couple other things, but you pay a premium for that. I mean, that's $116. So let's go back down here and let's take a look at what the difference is. 116 versus 81. That's roughly $35 more a month. So you're going to overpay $420 a year, roughly. And if you live another 10 years, you will overpay an extra $4,200, roughly. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying $4,200, roughly, to an insurance company to have them make 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe do a couple other things? Most people would say, that seems a little excessive. And, so if you want to save some money, what we've done is we've created a funeral and estate planning guide. We provide that free of charge, and you can just fill that out, who gets what goes where, and, what your final arrangements are as far as burial, cremation, where you want all this to occur and all of that. Fill that out, keep it with the policy. And now when you pass away, your family's got everything in one place. That you've protected them both financially with the insurance policy and emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. And they will know that you were thinking about them well in advance for this day, which is going to be very difficult for them. And what an ultimate gift, what an ultimate expression of love for your family to take care of this in advance. So again, you can go over to funeralfunds.com. For our YouTube listeners, we've got a special URL, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And we've got a special quota there that's going to get you the best discounts and everything in your state. You can also call us at 888-862-9456, and one of our staff or agents will help you get pricing or answer any questions you have. And again, if you have an existing insurance policy and you just want to price shop it or add coverage, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy and you want first day coverage or benefits and the lowest rates, we can help you out with that. Even if you just have some questions or need some help with something, reach out to us. We'd love to help you with that. And until that day comes, we wish you the best. You take care. You stay safe. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.